I'm Dr. Roman Burk. We're going to talk today about a very common problem that we get lots of questions about on a regular basis from our patients. Doc, how am I supposed to cut my toenails? Am I supposed to cut them square? I was always told that's how to do it, but I'm not sure that that actually works. The truth is, there are a lot of different ways to cut your toenails, and it really does depend upon your anatomy. So, I saved my toenails especially for you guys. I know, you're so excited about that. You get to see the podiatrist's foot today. You're going to need your handy dandy toenail clippers, because if your toenails can't fit into this device, you probably need to come and see us anyway. So let's take a look. For everybody out there in the ether sphere, toenails should be cut and trimmed according to the shape and anatomy of your toes. So my anatomy in my toes is such that I round the corners of my toenails. And the reason that I do that is that I don't have a lot of redundant skin fold that comes up and over the side. Some people have a lot of flesh that will come up and around the outside of the toenail or one of the edges of the toenails. I left my toenails long this month just so that I could cut them for you and demonstrate what I do with them and why we do it this particular way. So in my anatomy, with my toes, rounding the toenails helps me not to get an ingrown toenail. If I were to cut my toenails square, I would probably get an ingrown toenail at some point, which would hurt. So, as with any other device, make sure that it fits the toenail. If you have really thick or bulky toenails that don't fit your standard toenail clipper, you probably need to come and talk to us. I'm going to start with one edge, and I'm going to go very slowly across, and I'm going to try and maintain an even curvature so that I'm not trying to splinter the toenail or take too much at one time. That gives me the ability to round off the corner and to avoid getting an ingrown toenail. By doing that, I save myself pain and problems later. As with my big toe, I'm going to do the same thing with my smaller toes, and we're going to just simply round those off. And I'm going to use the same technique that I did on the big toenail. One of the other things that people frequently ask me about is how short should I cut my toenails? And I think the answer to that is really based, again, upon your anatomy. You should never be digging back further into the toenail with your toenail clipper. The skin and the toenail attach to one another, and they attach to a certain point. You don't want to cut into that area. But where the toenail separates from the skin, where the two grow apart, that's where the length of the toenail will really matter. I would advise you to cut it back to no more than the junction between the skin and the toenail. You don't want to try and tear the nail away from the skin or cut the skin in the process of cutting your toenails.